So in our last video, we saw how we can control the output from a transistor based on the input signal on the gate or the base terminal. So keeping that in mind, we can make our own adjustable power supply. So in today's video, we will first use a potentiometer, then a BJT, and then a MOSFET to make our very basic power supplies. So keep in mind that the power supplies that we make in this video are not supposed to be used in any professional applications or projects. It's just to understand the basic uses of the electronic components. So let's start off with the potentiometer. A potentiometer has 3 pins. The middle one is the one that is attached to the knob here, and the one on the left and the right are actually the input pins. So in simple words, we can supply the upper limit of our voltage here, the lower limit of our voltage here on any of these 2 pins. And then we can use the middle pin to adjust our output based on how close it is to one end or the other end. So let's get started. So on the one terminal, we are going to supply the input voltage. The other pin will be connected to the negative terminal, and then we can take output from the middle pin. So now we can add our potentiometer here, add headers on the terminals, and hook up our voltmeter. So this is our output pin. We're going to connect our voltmeter between the output pin and the common ground. Now we're going to supply the voltage of about 5 volts. If I vary the potentiometer, the output is going to change, and it does. So the word adjustable applies when we have a specific input and we can vary our output. The output is always a function of the constant input here, and for this system we have the voltage divider rule. And it pretty much does the job if you want to make a dimmer circuit with it, some electronics that would change its behavior based on the input voltage. So let's see if we can use this very basic power supply to vary the speed of our DC motor here. So as you can see, the output is varying, and this is a 3.3 to 5 volt motor. So this should work, but it doesn't. The reason that it's not working, even if I remove the resistor from here, this only starts working when I decrease the resistance here to 0 ohms, and it practically becomes a short circuit. With variable voltage, this won't even complete the circuit, and it won't even work. The reason for that is that what we have created here is a inductor-resistive or a resistor-inductive circuit, and that is way too much complex stuff to talk about right now. But keep in mind that a resistor in series with a motor won't decrease the speed of a motor or something. So for that, we need a more advanced kind of a adjustable power supply, and that is where the transistors come in. So a transistor can be used to vary the output between the collector and the emitter, or in case of a MOSFET, between the source and the drain based on the signal on the base. And we should be able to control the speed of this motor here with a transistor. So let's try that now. So first thing first, we must add a heatsink to our transistor. Let's quickly construct the circuit here. First we attach the MOSFET on the breadboard, then supply the input voltage to its source. Then from the drain, we take the output. We add a potentiometer in the previous spots where it was attached. And this time we will attach the output pin of the potentiometer to the gate of this MOSFET. Now here we can see that the potentiometer is a voltage divider, and the transistor doesn't know about any of this stuff going on here. It just is worried about the input signal or the input voltage on its base. So based on the input on its gate, it's going to allow the amount of the input voltage to the drain of the MOSFET here. So now we connect our motor between the drain and the general ground here. Now we supply the input voltage. Let's set it to about 5 volts. Now if I change the input voltage on the gate of this MOSFET, we should be able to control the speed of this motor. This is like super fast now. And boom. And since you can see that there is no resistor in the path from drain to the source, and that's why this motor is able to run at variable speeds based on the input on the gate. And yes, of course, you can still use it as a dimmer circuit for your LEDs. And now for the final step, let's add a BJT here, and then we will see its performance. And I'm pretty positive that it's going to result in something very bad. So yeah, we can still see that we can vary the output from the BJT. And that concludes our video for today. Thank you so much guys for watching, and we will see you next week.